Welcome, Henry. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I would love for you to share a bit about yourself with the musical community.
My name is Henry Tushman, and I live in Wellesley, Massachusetts. I started playing piano when I was 5 years old, and I've played with the same teacher ever since. I go to school at Wellesley High School, and my favorite subject is math because I like figuring out puzzles and problems in the math class. I play soccer, and I like to do cross country, and I go to soccer practice every day after school. To fit piano in, I wake up early every morning before school so I can get all my activities in one day.
Do you remember your early days when you just started the piano? How was it like?
I remember I didn't have to practice as much as I did now, but I remember practicing 30 minutes a day and feeling really accomplished when I finished practicing. So I would like do hand exercises and scales to work out my technique and musical endurance. Right now, I will wake up early and practice around an hour and a half in the morning. So I will do slow, medium, fast tempos when I practice with the metronome and practice one or two songs before school. And then later in the night when I come back from school, I will practice the rest of my piano using the same strategies, and then I will run it through all together for a practice performance.
Well, that requires a lot of discipline to get up that early before school. Good for you. How do you handle your technical side of things?
So I use the pieces. I use my pieces. If I take a hard part, like a big run in one of my pieces, I will practice it slow and then inch it up on the metronome slowly until it's a lot more solid. I also practice the pieces in rhythms to also strengthen my technique.
How do you try to connect with the music and arrive with the interpretation that you're happy with?
Well, I usually listen to the piece and I listen to many different interpretations by other artists. So for the Beethoven, I think at first I didn't really like my first interpretation, and then I did a master class with Victor Rosenbaum last year, and he gave me some other interpretations to think about, and then I had to choose between a couple different interpretations, and I chose the one I liked best. Sometimes if I'm not able to get the entire piece to flow, sometimes to make it give it a story or put words to it, words to the melody.
How do you start learning a new piece? What's that process looks like?
Depending on the piece, so if there's a piece with many different voices, I'll practice all the voices alone, and I usually end up practicing the hard sections first. Like if I take a piece that has a slow section and a really technical section, I'll start by learning the technical section so I can start practicing my technique early, while the other slow section I don't need as much practice with the technique, so I'll start it later.
Share a bit about the performances aspect of your piano playing.
Um, well, at my music school, I get to run things for an audience a lot, and so at first when I first started playing piano, I got really nervous to perform, but now I get a lot less nervous because I'm a lot more confident in my piano playing.
What has been the most rewarding experience?
My teacher, she works at um, a music program in Cremona during the summer and Cremona, Italy. So I get to go with her to Cremona, Italy for 3 weeks on some summers to play for chamber music and more performing in uh, big churches and violin museums.
What has been the most challenging for you?
I always have like a really busy schedule with sports, piano, and school, so hard it's hard for me to fit in like time, get make time for piano.
What would you say to some young kids who are just getting started on the piano? Any word of encouragement for them?
Um, it starts off a lot harder than it gets easier as it comes along. Like you're like playing these pieces are just stepping stools to playing a lot more fun and harder pieces.